Okay, Sick Liberal has put together a second video for the Walking the Walk channel. Post a link over there. Probably be one right down there too. So anyway, yeah, go to the video. Watch the video. It'd be a good idea to watch it. It's a little long, 10 minutes or so, but you know, it just covers the basics of the peak oil thing and the alternatives thing, and is interesting. And you got to promote it though. So comment on it. You know, if you have nothing to say, just insult me. You can insult me all you like on it. So all my haters, hey, that's the place to go. If I blocked you and you want to comment and say something to me, say it to me there. Okay? You have my permission. Talk about my smelly feet. Anything you want to talk about, it's fine. I don't give a damn. Just support the video in general. I mean, let's support the idea that we have to concentrate and focus as a society, as a people, on reality. And the reality is that our energy consumption is out of control, at least in the way we are provided the energy. I think there's really, energy shouldn't be a limitation in our civilization, but it is a limitation now because we've always just depended on doing it the cheapest way possible. And so maybe we have to invest in it. We actually have to invest in the future. You know, people talk about the future, but they don't give a damn about the future. We've never made investments in the future. At least we haven't made them in the last 70 or 80 years. I mean, we did build the Hoover Dam once. We did land on the moon. That was sort of an investment in the future, in understanding and technology. But now everything's, you know, what do we get out of it? Well, I want my payoff now. It's like everybody expects, you know, the reality to be almost like it's some sort of slot machine or something. You know, you put some money in and you expect a payoff now for you. And that's not the way it works. That's not the way the world works. To get the real big payoff is investments in the future. It'll always be that way. It's always going to be kind of a scenario where you can cut off your toes today to make sure that humans always have toes in the future. I mean, that's it's a stupid example, but anyway, the point is yeah, sometimes people have to make sacrifices that'll pay off big in the future, and that's what we've been unwilling to do because we've been a completely, you know, the me generation has really been, you know, 100 or 200 years old. I mean, maybe it's been 2,000 years old, maybe it's 10,000 years. Maybe human beings have never really had an elegant moment in their existence where they actually did the right thing for the right reasons. I mean, a strange combination where they actually thought right and actually did right. And that's what sustainability is going to require, is that there's going to have to be a human generation eventually that has enough intelligence to realize that you have to engineer reality. You can't just let it happen. You can't just leave human desire in control, because that kind of chaos is just going to lead us to the brink of disaster that we're sitting on now. And for centuries we got away with it because we couldn't contrive or invent the technology to fuck ourselves up completely. But now we're finally playing with toys dangerous enough to kill us. And so we've got to change the mindset, and recognizing peak oil would be a great example of us finally growing up, and realizing that, yeah, there's got to be other ways to do what we need to do. There's other ways to build our civilizations. We can build them wisely and incrementally, and for good cause and purpose and reason, or we can just, again, leave the selfish capitalist engine in control and say, let's just take and exploit wherever we can. I mean, we're making the choice as human beings, and the world will reflect our bad or our good judgment. There's lots of ways to get energy. We're just never going to get it as cheap as oil, but oil isn't cheap anymore. So now it's even easier for us to do the right thing because we don't have the cheap alternative sitting there right in front of us. But the other thing goes with this peak oil thing is the fact that we are essentially ruining the environment, and we've got to take responsibility for that. So it's not just about the fact that oil is a limited resource, it's about the fact that oil is a messy resource, a sloppy resource, and that we've got to find better energy resources. And we can, they're there. We just have to be willing to get paid to do the right thing 5 or 10 years down the road instead of expecting the payoff today. And so we have to just be a little less selfish. That's really what it's about. But anyway, so moving on, you know, in the past I have done videos encouraging people to submit video replies to this video. Like I said, I want you to support the Walk the Walk video listed over there. But this video, I would like video responses on two subjects: politics and the economy. Both are, in my opinion, unsustainable in their present circumstance. There really aren't any world democracies that are true democracies. They're not representative democracies. They all use the old standard of a geographic voting district, you know, where you're voting for a local candidate that's basically just representing your local majority. And guess what? The local majority in most cases is the same in every single local community, because the world has realized the value of integration. Apparently I can't speak English. So anyway, you get the idea though. We are melting potting, okay, all over the world. And in doing that, you know, political ideologies do not have a geography, okay? They're spread out all over nations and worlds, and they're not represented, and that's the bottom line in government. The same stupid majority, the same assholes get to run every government, and that's what's got to change. Democracy is broken, and the fix isn't anarchy or some other bullshit, okay? And if that's all you got to say, well, go ahead and say something about it. Go ahead and post a video response, and I'll just use your video as an example of the morons out there who can't figure out. You have to engineer solutions. And the solution isn't to unengineer the system. The solution is to engineer the system. The solution isn't to take the intelligence away. The solution is to apply intelligence, which we haven't done for over 250 years. The democracy needs a redesign, and we can make it right. We can build articulate and rational constitutions. We can allow for majorities to control what they're allowed to control, and we can put other items off limits. We can establish some facts of life regarding human equality and human rights, and then we can let majorities have their control. But it should be a real majority, not an artificial majority, not one contrived in geographic districts where minorities never have any representation and never have a voice at the table. And that's really important. It's important, even if you're a minority voice, to have that voice, to be able to stand up in a legislative body and say, I'm watching you and I see the lie, I see the bullshit that you're selling right here. And so you can challenge the lie, and minority intelligence then can have the power to do some persuading, and it can at least do some extortion through humiliation. It can humiliate the lies and change the world, and that's what we got to invest in. We got to invest in a better democracy. All right, how much time? Good. A couple minutes on economics. It's the same thing. We just said, okay, let's just let selfishness rule. We'll put on a few regulations, and but otherwise, yeah, we'll just let greed dictate what our societies look like, and it's just bullshit. It's so to the anarcho-capitalists, you know, the fuck you too. Okay, again, systems don't work better without rules. They work better with rules. That's how you create a good game. A good game always has rules. There's not a game you can pull off a shelf anywhere that has no rules. That's idiotic. Okay, no one would invent such a stupid game, because it wouldn't be a game. Nobody would want to play, because all it would be is do whatever the hell you want. Yeah, cheat as much as you want, fuck people over as much as you want. Well, fuck that. You know, so yeah, to have a good economy, it's got to be something that's got to be designed to maximize human productivity, to get the very most out of every incentive carrot, so to speak. I mean, that's what economics is really about. Money is basically incentive. And so if you look at it that way, as incentive carrots, you want to distribute them to maximize how much work and effort and productivity you get out of people. And things like legacy wealth and inheritance just destroy incentives for people to work. It's the worst of all welfare states, because you're not taking care of people for free, for nothing. You're not taking care of them because you have to, because there's some kid involved, there's some extortion involved. No, you're just giving money to people so they can waste it. And the waste is an important word, because there's a lot of waste in our economy. We have a lot of people doing not good work, but very unproductive and stupid work. And all jobs should be basically good jobs. All jobs should produce something of value. And the production shouldn't be, yes, we successfully, you know, bullshitted an old lady out of her money. That's not good work. We sold somebody something they didn't need. That's not good work. And our whole economy is almost built out of bullshit. It's built out of engineering a false sale, a false line, a crooked line between production and consumption. Most of our economy has to do with all these jagged lines in between those two things. We've got to make the line as smooth and direct as possible between production and consumption. We've got to feed consumers the most efficient way possible, not the most inefficient. And the systems we have designed now just have so much noise and clutter and crap in them that you know, we are just compromising the quality of our lives, feeding a machine that's just
horribly broken. It's a horribly inefficient, gas-guzzling, so to speak, machine that doesn't serve our own interest. It consumes way too much, and we can make it much more efficient, and just requires an application of a little bit of rationality, you know, where you just regulate out of the system the horrible extremes of unproductivity and waste. And we can do that, and we can do that without being draconian and without taking away people's incentives and without creating some sort of stagnant, horrible, monolithic state where everybody has to be the same and all this other crap. You know, it doesn't ever have to be these damn extremes that people want to argue. We can engineer something better, and we don't even try. It's to our own humiliation that we don't have the intelligence to step beyond these simple, stupid answers and apply a little bit of intelligence to create the best solution. So anyway, responses, comments, whatever, so I can make a sustainable economy and sustainable democracy video. And if I don't get any, well then I'm going to have to make it myself. Fuck all you bastards.